Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand something right now, something that will change the way you walk through life. You have a value inside of you, a value that no one else can put a price on, no one else can measure, and no one else can take away. Too many of us live our lives bending, adjusting, trying to please people, hoping for approval, and waiting for someone else to tell us we're good enough. I'm telling you, that is a trap. You don't need validation from your friends, your family, or the crowd on social media to know who you are. Your value is already there. Your value is already there. It doesn't come from what people say about you. It comes from what you know about yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that most people will never tell you. You have value, real, undeniable value. And I don't mean the kind of value that comes from what people think of you, the money you make, the status you hold, or the approval you chase. I'm talking about the value that lives inside you, the kind of value that nobody else can measure, take away, or define for you. The problem is so many people spend their entire lives ignoring that value. They wake up every morning looking for validation from the wrong people. They ask, am I enough? And wait for the world to give them the answer. And here's the thing, the world doesn't care to answer that question. The world will throw criticism, judgment, and doubt at you at every opportunity. But the value you carry inside you, that's yours. It's yours to claim, and it's yours to protect. Nobody can give it to you. Nobody can take it from you. You must own it yourself. I've seen it happen over and over. People with incredible talent, people with gifts that could change the world, sit on the sidelines because they let the opinions of others control their lives. They shrink themselves, they dim their light, and they hide away, hoping somehow that someone will notice them. And I'm telling you right now, waiting for someone else to validate your worth is the fastest way to stay stuck, because the truth is, no one has the power to define your value except for you. You have to stand up, look yourself in the mirror and say, I am worthy, I am capable, I am enough. And not just once, not just when it's convenient, every single day. Say it until it becomes louder than the doubt and criticism that surrounds you. Say it until you start to believe it with every fiber of your being. Your value is not something that can be measured by someone else's standards. Don't let the world convince you that it is. I know people who think that because they didn't go to the right school, because they don't make enough money, because they don't have the right friends, that they are somehow less than. I'm here to tell you that's nonsense. Your value isn't based on those things. Your value isn't based on those things. Your value is based on your character, your heart, your mind, and the gifts that God or life gave you. It's based on what you bring to the table, not what the table looks like. When you start operating from that truth, your life changes. You stop worrying about being liked. You stop bending to please people. And you start moving toward your purpose with confidence and clarity. And let me be clear. People will try to make you doubt yourself. They will tell you that you're not ready, that you're too young, too old, too inexperienced, too different, too whatever. And some of you will believe it, and you'll let it slow you down. don't. You have to understand that most people are only able to see the world through the lens of their own limitations. If they can't see it, it doesn't mean it's not there. If they doubt you, it doesn't mean you're not worthy. Your value is independent of their perception. You can have a dream, a goal, a gift, and a vision that nobody else can understand, but that doesn't make it any less real or important. In fact, that's often the sign that you are on the right path, because if everyone understood it immediately, it wouldn't be your unique calling. I want you to imagine a life where you stop asking for permission to be yourself, where you stop waiting for approval, and where you finally embrace your worth. Imagine how your decisions would change. Imagine how your confidence would soar. You'd stop settling for things, people, or situations that don't match your value. You'd stop shrinking to fit into other people's expectations. You'd finally start living life on your terms, in your lane, with the gifts and talents that are uniquely yours. That's the kind of life I'm talking about. A life built on recognizing and honoring your own worth. You see, the world will always be ready to tell you that you're not enough, but the truth is you are more than enough. You were born with potential, with skills, with a mind and heart capable of greatness. The challenge is believing it when nobody else does. Believe in it when people doubt you, when they laugh at your dreams, when they try to box you in or tell you your ideas are too big. That's where your real power lies, in your ability to see yourself clearly, to honor your worth, and to refuse to let anyone else dictate how far you can go. Every great person you know, every person who has achieved something remarkable, started by understanding one simple truth. Their value was non-negotiable. They didn't wait for the world to recognize it. They didn't chase approval. They didn't let criticism or doubt define them. They knew who they were, and they walked with that confidence every single day. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the foundation of a successful, fulfilling life. You have to claim that same understanding for yourself. So I'm telling you right now, stop looking outside for answers about your worth. Stop bending over backward, trying to make people see what's inside of you. Start standing tall, start believing, and start living from the inside out. Your value is already there. It's unshakable, it's irreplaceable, and it's yours to own. Once you grasp that, nothing can stop you. Your life will begin to transform because you finally understand the one thing that changes everything. You are enough, and your worth is non-negotiable. Now, I want you to hear me very clearly, because this is where so many people get stuck in life. The world is full of noise. Noise from people who don't understand your dreams. Noise from people who have their own fears and insecurities. Noise from friends, family, co-workers, and even strangers who feel the need to tell you how your life should go. Everywhere you turn, someone has an opinion about you. And here's the danger. If you let that noise in, if you let it settle in your mind, it will shape your thoughts, it will shape your decisions, and it would hold you back from the greatness that's waiting for you. You cannot achieve your potential if you allow the voices of others to drown out your own the noise. Learn to filter it. And I don't just mean turning off your phone or deleting negative comments on social media. I mean truly understanding which voices deserve your attention and which ones do not. Let me tell you something. The world will always have an opinion about you. People will criticize your appearance, your choices, your goals, your dreams, and even the way you speak. And if you allow it, you'll start to question yourself every single day. You start wondering if you're too much, not enough, too loud, too quiet, too ambitious, or not ambitious enough. That kind of thinking will stop you cold. It will paralyze you in your own life. People will throw their fears, their doubts, and their limitations at you because that's how they see the world. They don't know your journey. They don't know your purpose. And they certainly don't know your potential, but they will try to impose their limits on you anyway. And most of us, honestly, fall for it. We start adjusting ourselves to make everyone else comfortable. We shrink. We settle. We dim our light and we play small because someone else feels threatened by our dreams. But the truth is, you weren't put on this earth to live small. You weren't put here to play it safe, to fit inside other people's boxes, or to live life according to someone else's expectations. You were born to rise, to grow, and to shine. And the only way that happens is by learning to ignore the noise and focus on yourself. I want you to understand what ignoring the noise really looks like. It means when someone tells you, you can't do that, or that's too big for you. You thank them in your mind, but you keep moving. It means when your peers or family try to push you into a mold that doesn't fit, you smile, you nod, but you do what your heart knows is right. It means you stop asking everyone else for permission to pursue your goals, and you start asking yourself, is this what I need to do to become who I'm meant to be? Because at the end of the day, the only voice that truly matters in your life is the one inside of you. That's the voice that will carry you when nobody else is cheering. That's the voice that will keep you awake at night with determination. That's the voice that will remind you every morning that your dreams are yours to claim and nobody else's opinion can take them away. Ignoring the noise doesn't make you selfish. It doesn't make you arrogant. It makes you wise. Because when you're tuned into the right frequency, your frequency, you start making decisions that serve your purpose and your growth. You start investing your time and energy where it matters. You stop wasting days, months, even years trying to satisfy people who have no real stake in your future. You start saying yes to the things that bring you closer to your vision and no to everything else. And when you do this consistently, life starts to change in ways you never thought possible. Opportunities begin to appear. Doors you didn't even know existed start opening. And suddenly you realize, I've been moving in the right direction all along. I just had to ignore the distractions. Here's another truth you need to hear. People will try to discourage you, even when they don't mean to. Sometimes it's subtle, like a comment, a joke, or a backhanded compliment. Other times it's blatant, like telling you that your dreams are impossible, that your goals are too high, or that your ambitions are unrealistic. And here's the thing, if you listen to that, you will believe it. That's why ignoring the noise is not just a choice, it's survival. It's protecting yourself from the doubts that can quietly creep into your mind and sabotage your success. It's refusing to hand over your power to anyone else. You can't control what people say about you, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to let it go, or you can let it ruin your day, your week, your year, and maybe even your life. I want you to imagine how different your life would be if you learned to filter the noise and focus only on what matters. Imagine waking up every morning with purpose and determination, knowing that no one's opinion can stop you. Imagine making bold decisions without hesitation because your focus is on your goals, not on pleasing people who will never understand your journey. Imagine the freedom that comes from trusting yourself, from believing in your own judgment, from knowing that the only validation you need comes from inside. That's what ignoring the noise does. That's what it gives you. And let me tell you, the sooner you start doing it, the sooner you start living a life of freedom, power, and success. So here's what I want you to remember. The noise will always be there. People will always have something to say. Life will always try to distract you. But you have the choice to rise above it. You have the choice to focus on yourself, your goals, and your purpose. You have the choice to filter out the unnecessary chatter and listen only to the voice that matters the most, the voice inside of you that knows what you're capable of. Learn to ignore the noise, protect your peace, and watch your life transform, because when you do, you start moving in a way that nobody can stop. You start living in a power that is entirely your own, and that, my friends, is priceless. Let me tell you something that most people never seem to understand, and it's the key to walking through life with confidence and purpose. You don't need everyone to like you. You don't need everyone to approve of you. You don't need everyone to clap, cheer, or validate your choices. What you need is self-respect. And that, my friends, is a whole different game. Too many people spend their lives chasing approval. They go out of their way to make sure other people are comfortable, that they are accepted, that they are liked. They sacrifice their time, their energy, and sometimes even their dreams just to make sure other people give them a nod of approval. And here's the problem with that. It never ends. You can never please everyone. You can never make everyone happy. People will always find something wrong with you, something to criticize, something to judge, and if you spend your life chasing their approval, you will always feel empty, defeated, and small. I've been around people who are so talented, so gifted, but they constantly second-guess themselves because they want everyone to see them the way they want to be seen. They'll change who they are, hide who they are, bend over backward to make sure nobody feels uncomfortable. And in the process, they forget to honor the person they were created to be. And I'm telling you right now, that is a dangerous way to live. Respect yourself first. Respect your time, your energy, your talents, and your dreams. When you do that, everything else starts falling into place. When you build self-respect, you stop making decisions based on what others think, and you start making decisions that serve you, your future, and your growth. Respect is not given, it's earned, and it starts with you. It starts by setting boundaries and sticking to them. It starts by saying no when something doesn't align with your values or your purpose. It starts by walking away from people and situations that drain your energy instead of lifting it. So many people tolerate things they shouldn't tolerate just to keep the peace, just to avoid conflict, just to make someone else happy, just to make someone else happy. And here's the truth. Those same people are the ones who end up frustrated, angry, unfulfilled, and stuck. Respect yourself enough to say, I won't accept less than I deserve. I won't settle for anything that doesn't honor who I am or who I'm becoming. And I want you to hear this because it's powerful. When you respect yourself, people start to respect you. It's not something you demand. It's something you naturally attract. When you walk with dignity, when you honor your worth, when you refuse to let anyone treat you like you are disposable, the world notices. People start treating you differently. Opportunities that used to pass you by suddenly start appearing. Doors open that you never knew existed. And it all begins with one simple principle. Build your respect first, then the world will follow. You see, chasing approval is exhausting. It's a treadmill that never stops. You'll always find someone who doesn't like you, someone who disagrees, someone who criticizes. That's life. But respect, self-respect, is powerful because it's anchored inside of you. It doesn't fluctuate based on someone else's opinion. It doesn't disappear when someone says something negative about you. It's steady. It's reliable. And when you cultivate it, it becomes a force in your life that protects you, propels you forward, and attracts the right people and opportunities to you. Let me give you an example. I know people who spent years in relationships, friendships, and jobs where they were undervalued, disrespected, and taken for granted. They kept giving, bending, and sacrificing, hoping that eventually the other person would see their worth. And guess what? They never did. Because respect is not about convincing someone else to see it. Respect is about knowing your own worth and refusing to accept anything less. When those people finally realized that, when they finally built self-respect, their lives changed. They left toxic environments, walked away from people who didn't honor them, and began living a life that reflected their true value. And the funny thing is, the people who doubted them, who ignored them, or who disrespected them suddenly started treating them differently. That's the power of self-respect. It doesn't come from outside. It comes from within. Now, I want to challenge you to think about your own life. Are you constantly looking for validation? Are you bending over backward for people who don't care about your dreams or your growth? Are you tolerating disrespect because you're afraid of what people will think if you stand up for yourself? If you are, it's time to stop. You have to make a choice. You can either continue living for everyone else, or you can start living for yourself, honoring your worth, protecting your energy, and building a life that reflects your value. Respecting yourself also means investing in yourself. Learn, grow, and improve. Build your skills, your knowledge, and your character. Take care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. When you respect yourself enough to invest in yourself, you send a signal to the world that you are serious about your life and your purpose. And when you do that consistently, life responds. People respond. Opportunities respond. Your dreams respond. Because when you walk with self-respect, the universe starts aligning in ways you couldn't have imagined when you were living for everyone else. So I want you to remember this every day. Approval is fleeting. Opinion is everywhere, but respect, self-respect is eternal. Build it, protect it, walk with it, protect it, walk with it. Let it guide your decisions. Let it shape your boundaries. Let it be the foundation for everything you do. When you do that, you stop wasting your energy chasing people who don't matter, and you start living the life you were meant to live. You start building a future that reflects the person you truly are. And that, my friends, is the path to freedom, power, and real success. Now, I want to leave you with something that is the most powerful tool you will ever carry through life, and that is self-belief. I don't care how much talent you have, how many connections you know, how much money you might have in the bank. If you don't believe in yourself, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. Self-belief is the foundation of everything you want to achieve. It's the fuel that keeps you going when everyone else doubts you. It's the voice inside that whispers, keep going, you can do this. You are made for this moment, even when the world is shouting the opposite. And I'm telling you right now, the moment you truly believe in yourself, nothing can stop you. I've seen it time and time again. People with skills, people with ideas, people with vision fail not because they weren't capable, not because they weren't talented, but because they didn't believe in themselves. They let fear take over. They let doubt creep in. They let other people's opinions define their reality. And that is a trap so many of us fall into without even realizing it. You have to know deep down that you are capable. You have to look in the mirror and tell yourself, I have what it takes. I am enough. I will make this happen. And you have to say it every day until it becomes a roar, until it drowns out the doubt, the criticism, and the fear that will always try to find you. Self-belief is not arrogance. Self-belief is not arrogance. It's not thinking you're better than anyone else. It's not being cocky. True self-belief is confidence in your ability to grow, to learn, and to handle whatever life throws at you. It's understanding that setbacks are not failures, they are lessons. It's knowing that criticism is just someone else's perspective, not the truth about who you are or what you're capable of. When you have self-belief, you stop letting the small voices, the negative opinions, and the fears that live inside you run your life. You start making decisions based on your potential, your purpose, and your vision, not on what people say you can or cannot do. Let them tell you something. People will try to discourage you, even when they don't mean to. They'll say, that's too hard, or you don't have enough experience, or it's never been done before. And some of you will hear that and let it control you. But the truth is, you don't have to wait for anyone else to give you permission to pursue your dreams. The only permission you need comes from yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't trust your ability to navigate life, then nothing will move forward. But the moment you start believing, even in the face of doubt, even when it seems impossible, you will start creating opportunities that nobody else saw coming. I know people who started with nothing, no money, no support, no experience. They were doubted, ignored, and even ridiculed. But they believed. They believed in themselves when no one else would. They believed in their gifts, their talents, their purpose. And because of that belief, they pushed through setbacks. They fought through obstacles. And they kept moving forward even when everything seemed against them. That belief became their superpower. That belief is what separates people who succeed from people who stay stuck. It's what makes the difference between those who dream and those who achieve. Self-belief also allows you to ignore the naysayers without being bitter. When you know who you are and what you're capable of, criticism doesn't sting. Rejection doesn't hurt as much. Failure doesn't feel permanent. You understand that life is a process, and every setback is a step toward your growth. You begin to see obstacles not as roadblocks, but as opportunities to learn, to strengthen, and to prove to yourself that your belief in yourself was right all along. And that, my friends, is the kind of mindset that creates unstoppable momentum. I want you to picture your life if you carried self-belief with you every single day. Imagine waking up with the certainty that no matter what comes your way, you have what it takes to handle it. Imagine making decisions not based on fear, not based on doubt, but based on confidence in yourself and your ability to succeed. Imagine tackling challenges, taking risks, and reaching for goals that once seemed out of reach, knowing that you are capable of achieving them. That's the power of self-belief. That's what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. Here's the truth. Nobody else is going to fight for your dreams like you will. Nobody else will wake up early, put in the work, and sacrifice the things necessary to reach your goals. If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will believe in you the way you need them to. You must be your biggest champion. You must cheer for yourself. You must trust that you have the ability to figure it out even when the path isn't clear. You must see your potential clearly and refuse to let anyone or anything convince you otherwise. And the beautiful thing about self-belief is that it compounds. The more you believe in yourself, the more you take action, the more results you see, and the stronger your belief becomes. It becomes a cycle of confidence and growth that nobody can stop. But it starts with a decision to trust yourself, to honor your potential, and to refuse to be swayed by fear, doubt, or the opinions of others. That decision is yours to make, and it will define the trajectory of your life. So I want you to take this message to heart. Self-belief is not optional. It is essential. It is the driving force behind your ability to achieve, to grow, and to live a life of freedom and fulfillment. Carry it with you every day. Protect it, nurture it. Speak it out loud. Remind yourself constantly that all are capable, that you are deserving, and that you can achieve greatness. Because once you truly believe in yourself, nothing in this world can stop you from becoming the person you are meant to be.